came out. They were literally promising to go after every Trump official when the House gets back in office and investigate, or when Democrats take majority in the House, and they're going to investigate every single Trump official. So, like, they're already promising lawfare against Trump. Shouldn't Trump fight fire with fire? Like,
Joe, I agree with you.
I'm going to go after Pepe.
I 100% agree with you. I'm somebody who believed that when President Trump is in office, a lot of people need to go to jail. The way they went after Trump and those around him, they had to play dirty, and I don't know how else to do it. Like, I personally do not really give a shit about Comey. I'm not the one who brought this up, but we kind of the conversation started before Comey. It was about radicalization of the shooter, but when it comes to the people that were going after Trump, yeah, I do think something drastic needs to happen to them, because they will just keep on doing it. How else do you stop it?
Well, what you could have done.
I would go after Pepe, please. So 2 points. Abby, I back channeled you a PolitiFact that said that the odds of the Senate being retained by the Republicans has gone up. I think the Southern Poverty Law Center scandal is having an effect, and we should push that and amplify that. And that goes back to the propaganda message. We have evidence that people are being manipulated and told that white supremacy is the number one threat to our country, and we know better. So we should educate on that. And the second point is, Joe, we are tossing out odds about how likely is it that with this charge, Comey will be convicted and found guilty. The highest percentage the stage gave us was 5%. What's yours?
Talking to me? I'm sorry,
yes.
I was...
Yes, sir. How you doing? Good to hear you.
I was getting the cuffs. No, I don't think it's likely, given the state of... clearly in this room right here, if Republicans are thinking it's a bad thing, Comey better get a bunch of clubhouse Republicans on his jury to not convict him.
Well, the thing of it is,
generally speaking, one of the big things I think is being missed here is, from one of the biggest complaints is Trump's first term was he promised in his 2016 election that he was going to lock Hillary up and spend the steady build up, and then after going through 2020.
Yeah, but after I have one more comment and then I'll go on mute after Joe.
In the years under Joe Biden, it's actually polling very, very strong with Republicans, according to big data polling, and I can look at where it is now, that many of Trump's MAGA supporters wanted indictments, and they want convictions as well. And maybe they don't have the goods, but there was a lot of rattling of the chains a year ago by supporters saying, where are the convictions? Where are the indictments? Why aren't they going after Trump? And I think it actually hurts Trump's chances more with his base, and it is red meat. This is to get the base up. This is to get the some enthusiasm that Trump's sorely lacking with his Iran war.
Okay, and my concern is we should go after people which we have the evidence to indict, convict, and jail them. And if we're going to put up these charges that have little chance of convicting and jailing them, we're wasting our time and our credibility. And I get that MAGA's mad that more people aren't in jail. And also, I don't think this is it. And so I'm frustrated because I want justice too, but this is smacking of vengeance and revenge.
This is not on our priority list.
Go ahead,
Putting James Comey in jail is not our priority.
Our best shot at Comey would have been in 2018 and 2017.
that would have been under the purview of Sessions, which he was a twit, and the DOJ was flustered. We had illegal wiretapping, misuse of a FISA court, omission and tampering of evidence to fit a narrative to go ahead and get those. That all occurred under Comey. Now, whether you could have pinned that to Comey, that would have been a different thing. But he still violated the Hatch Act. He also interfered with an election process in which that does carry criminal charges under it. So he could have we could have prosecuted him. They didn't do that with Comey. I don't know why. It's a short thing, but Comey could have done the Flynn debacle, as was mentioned. Yes, it should have absolutely been reviewed and probably could have been overdated the pardon, and we could have probably found out that there was some mishandling of evidence and misalignment of that. The problem is, what are you going to pin her with? She survived Benghazi. Like, all the evidence that people have, you have to prove that she's criminally liable. I hate to tell you this, but I can't stand that cunt, and she is the worst person on this planet in terms of our political system. But they get away with it. Like, they're clean. There's nothing that sticks to them. There's nothing you can really pin on the Clintons. I mean, shit, the guy lied under oath in front of the American people, and they reelected him. The power dynamics there are you have to sometimes say, hey, there's really not much I can go ahead. After the hearings, Hillary's stock went up. And every military man knows it was her and that administration that left me and others to go ahead and die. Like, that's just a simple fact. Quelled that shit. Her administration did it. Uma Abedin, Anthony Weiner. You can't tell me that was the first time that they had child pornography on their on their computers. The servers, the destruction of evidence. You had the crimes there, but they exonerated her. You couldn't make it stick. So, I mean, it's not just what you know, it's what you can prove, and you have to look at that through that lens. And if you're going to go down that pathway, we better go. And if we are going to do that, then we better find some fucking damn good prosecutors. We better find some Republican lawyers that can go on there and not just do CNN or Fox News sound bites and sound good on TV, but they have to be fucking dead on. And if we can't do that, then we don't have anybody to blame but ourselves. And Trump made a mistake. Sessions was the worst person to pick. That fucked him up from the beginning. He should have picked somebody a lot better. I don't know who it should have been, but I would have probably put Ted Cruz in. I would have gave it to him and said, here you go, unleash it. And Ted Cruz would have been a dog with a bone at that time, especially because he wanted blood and he wanted vengeance. And he would have went and got it. He would have found a law. But you know what? We didn't do that. Our side wasn't smart in that area. The Democrats threw everything they could at Trump, and he didn't get unscathed. But the man came back more powerful and destroyed the blue wall, destroyed every swing fucking district there we had. He took it over, and we have the power right now. This is just a distraction. We had the narrative for like 2 seconds. And now this is going to blanket it, and everybody's going to be cheering it, and it just gave leverage to the Democrats when we should say, hey, the political violence, your voice is being silenced. We could have rolled with that. We didn't have to do this. This shit was stupid. That AG just dropped the ball on us, and there was so many more fish we could have gone after, so many others, and we're letting them slip through our fingers over stupid shit.
Yeah, no one in this room, but we live in a world where we talk to people outside of this room on Clubhouse where they believe an impeachment of a president means it kicks them out of office. They're not even familiar with that the Senate has to convict them. I think we live in a world today in America where these headlines and these buzz lines play a factor and make effect. It's a momentum game. And I think it was hurting Trump more to not have anything. I don't think a trial on Comey will even be heard prior to the midterm election. I'd like to see a series of indictments come out over the next 6 months, regardless if they hold any water or not. These people in the DOJ work for us. This is one of the biggest complaints against Bondi, was why was nothing moving forward? Well, some of this stuff was working forward. I think now it's just starting to actually come to the news cycle, because I believe they were working on this grand jury for quite a while prior to this, even when Bondi was still in office. So I don't know. This is the machinations of what has occurred over the last year from some of the base demanding some of this stuff. Well, the guy from Rasmussen Reports, he went right into Trump and told him back in the fall, Mark Mitchell's his name, and said, look, your base wants indictments. Your base wants convictions. And at least according to his account, it's like, oh, okay, they want indictments. They want convictions. So we'll see. We'll see. Was doing nothing better and putting us in a better position than doing something about it. And I'm on the side that says do something about it regardless of the.
Well, all right. If that was the case, so take a look at the impeachments against Trump, the prosecutions from New York City, the release of his tax returns, creating fucking new state laws, manipulating a law to turn a misdemeanor into a federal crime, and then charge him 31 times with the same fucking crime. Then you go, all right, we've got this. Then you got the Georgia, what was her name? Stacey Abrams, not Abrams. The girl that was, yeah, whatever her name is. Yeah, she's Willis, Fanny. She's in a hotbed of water right now, and she's like trying to survive the next day. They tried to do it in Florida, and the Democrats lost on it, which gave power to Trump. I'm not necessarily saying we shouldn't have done anything. I'm saying we didn't have the people that were really going to go after. We put the wrong people in play, and I'm kind of grateful to Trump right now because he didn't necessarily go after Hillary, because that would have been front page and it would have been a failure. It would have been a failure, another failure, and who knows how this election cycle that just passed would have turned out if Trump, under 2016 with COVID shit that was happening, started prosecuting everybody and losing. That would have been an epic loss on our side, and it would have hurt us much more down ticket, and we wouldn't have had the powers to basically shift a lot of things. And I still don't like Mitch McConnell, but hats off to him for securing the courts and making sure a lot of provisions down ticket, down ballot actually worked in our favor to help propel up and to help us have that sweep of a victory. And Mitchell played it right. He set us up. Now it's up to our team to hold on to that, and we're going to hold the Senate, and we have a chance. We're probably not going to win a major majority in the House, but it's still a coin flip. We can still take 3-4 seats over and still have power, and it would be an epic win for Trump to be able to finish out his term, being able to do a lot of the things he promised. And maybe somehow we get a better win and set up the next administration that could be a Republican, whether it's Vance, Rubio, or somebody else. We could have a shot. And if they do good, we've got 12 years at least. We've got 12, guys. We have a shot for it, a good shot, not just like some imagination, but an actual good shot. I just don't think throwing shitty fucking prosecutions that all the media is going to cover and not cover any of the other shit. We're just giving too much fodder to the other side to use against us.
It's a good point. It didn't. When the Democrats did it to Trump, they weren't effective. They never got any convictions on Trump other than the civil case. They never got any convictions against Roger Stone or who else did they go after?
Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon.
They got conviction, Steve Bannon.
Oh, they did. That's right. They did get a conviction on.
Yeah, but he kind of set himself up. You can't do that whole Sandy Hook thing.
Wait, that's Alex Jones.
No, Steve Bannon was the one.
Oh, yeah, Steve Bannon. I'm sorry. I was thinking Alex Jones.
Contempt of Congress, Bannon.
It was contempt of Congress. That's right.
Yeah, Bannon was contempt of Congress. But I mean, that's nothing. Like, that's not a big win.
He did what? 5 months?
They were also going after him a while back for raising private funds to build the wall back in the first term.
That's
Do you remember
right.
that?
Yep.
Shit, I don't. Man, there's been so many of them. I can't. He's kind of a slime ball, isn't it?
I think, and
But,
yeah, he's gotten much worse.
But you're right. I mean, Brad, good point. It wasn't effective for the Democrats, so why do we think it would be effective this time around? And I don't know. That's the quagmire the MAGA base is in. They're demanding revenge, and it didn't work for the Democrats, at least for winning the presidency. So, how effective is it really in the long run, other than costing a shit ton of money and time and effort and pulling people out of the game? Hopefully, maybe going after Comey satisfies the base and not going after a figure like a Barack Obama, that would really rally the base of the left, because it would. Going after a Hillary or going after a Barack would definitely bring the left some momentum. So I don't know.
But I mean, if we take that point, like, again, if Trump succeeds, like, let's say he gets all the Iran thing falls our way, we start, boom, it starts working out great. Okay, done, settled, over with, and he follows through and has managed to hit $21 trillion in investment. Now, we won't see that in this term, but we have a shot to see it in the next term. We definitely will start to feel it about midterm after the next administration. That'll trickle down. And he puts that on there. I mean, can you imagine if it's all under conservatives, it's control, and we can actually fund and start doing things and start targeting issues that we have been complaining about for a long time, that we're going to have an economy that's booming under 12 years of stewardship under conservatives. It would take literally 50 years for the Democrats to break that shit. And not that they won't spend us into oblivion, but we really could hold something there, and Trump can walk away with something that will last, I don't know, another 250 years. He'll be able to support this country with those investments. Again, it's a big if he hits 21 trillion, because that's a hard goal. That economic boom for the U.S. will cement us for 150 years. That's a lot of power to give to a guy and then give it to the next administration, hand it off, and the American economy is steamrolling along. We're all doing a lot better, and he's conquered out, a bunch of bullshit. Venezuela is cured. Cuba looks like it'll be cured. Iran's going to be cured. Kim Jong-un I don't even know what's going on in North Korea. Nobody does, because he's been quiet. The only thing left is Russia and Ukraine. And quite frankly, no one gives a fuck about either of those two countries in reality. It's just a political oppo. We really do. And Europe is finally starting to pay up a little bit more. And he may take Greenland. Who knows? But I mean, fuck. If he does it, hats off to him. He'll be one of the greatest presidents, if not top 3 of all time.
Ready for Mount Rushmore?
What is that $18 to $21 trillion investment? Like, what is it? It's AI. So part of that is going to be AI transition, because there's, obviously they're going to take over some of the workforce and everything else. So there's going to be, and I remember Elon was saying something about universal basic income, which they might have to put that into action. I mean, I don't like the idea of it, but it's one of those things where it might, I mean, it might very well, mean that we go to that, but so it's mainly going to be the AI transition.
Mine is the